The timber frame for our new barn has been delivered, but it went anything but smoothly. Before the builder left, he handed me a list of groundworks that needs to be done before we can start putting it all together. I really don't want the timber to be lying out in the weather any longer than absolutely necessary, so the race is on. Every task has to be crossed off before the real building can begin. As many of you already know, our land is basically a wet sponge. Add warm, humid air and a steady supply of rain and you get a mosquito paradise. So if we want to be outside without getting eaten alive, step 1 is to fire up the mosquito trap. In our last video, we fixed up an old tractor road by laying down a new layer of rock. The problem is, it was never made for modern equipment. The road is far too narrow and the builder needs to drive his massive tractor and timber wagon there to get behind the barn. So it needs to be widened. But since the ground is so soaked, we have to dig a trench first. Otherwise the road will just disappear into the mud. I need a break. Now, the next task is technically not on the barn building list, but it still needs to be done. Shearing the sheep. We should have done this weeks ago, but you know, we have been busy. We need to do it together as one holds and the other shear, which means waiting until the kids are asleep. Unfortunately, most Norwegians know that that is exactly when the mosquitoes come out in full force. I was hoping it wouldn't be too bad. It was bad. Really bad. One of our sheep has been limping too, so I wanted to check her hooves. But after a few minutes of shearing and squinting through mosquito guts in my eyes, we had to admit defeat. Next evening, same story. With mosquitoes in my eyes, nose, ears and mouth, we had to give up. That sheep is going to look like a poodle until we can find a better plan. We'll soon need another truckload of crushed rocks, but this time I like it dumped a bit closer to the house. There is a small patch of land there that isn't really being used, and with all the machines, trailers and visitors lately, we could use a bit more space for turning around and parking, so the next load will go there. The whole reason the builder needs access to the backside of the barn is so that he can place his crane on top of the plateau. That's the only way the crane on the timber wagon can reach the entire building site. To do that, he will need to drive his tractor into the valley and then reverse up the road. And the valley, it's wet, really wet, so we need to extend the drain to avoid turning his tractor into a submarine. So, are we going to use the digger attachment for this job? Nope. The ground is too soft, and we will definitely get stuck. Shovel it is. Of course, I hit a giant rock, right in the middle of the trench. I need a break. We got the gravel delivered, but when the driver tried to reverse into our driveway, he just shook his head. These trucks are incredibly heavy and the road was struggling to hold him up. Next on the list is smoothing out the bend in the road. With the length of the tractor and the wagon, there's just no way he can shrink through the current curve. This spring we had something we rarely experience here on the west coast of Norway, a full month without a single drop of rain. I won't lie, it has been great, but terrible for the grass. Normally we will already have taken a first cut of hay, but it's still too short. If you have been following us for a while, you might remember a while back, someone at the desk decided our registered company hadn't had income for too long and deleted it. That meant we lost all the approvals tied to it. For obvious reasons that we are not going to get into, you need a farm to get approval to buy industrial grade fertilizer. Let's just say don't Google it unless you want special agents to crush through your door. We don't have that approval anymore. We registered a new company and we have applied for everything, but we are still waiting for one last approval, the one that lets us buy actual fertilizer. So for now I have borrowed my honest garden fertilizer, better than nothing. We are also spreading shell sand to help balance out the acidity in the soil. This is also not on the official list, but absolutely necessary. We need to connect our new road to the tractor road, otherwise that path will just turn into a mud pit. That part is done. The trench has now reached the spot the builder said that he needs to drive to, but I'm thinking I'm going to go a little further, because just a few meters beyond there is a place that means a lot to me. About 5 years ago, right there, we dropped our tractor in the mud. It sank so deep that water flooded into the cab. Getting it out meant bolting iron bars to the rear wheels so that it could lift itself out like some kind of mechanical beast climbing out of a swamp. That's when I thought I should have filmed this. That moment, frustrated, knee deep in mud, trying to outsmart a stuck tractor, is when I decided to start a YouTube channel.
Hei og velkommen til Norwegian Farm Life. Mitt navn Erik Solberg. Treff og dropp. Det I hvert fall meningen.
Now I am 5 years older, 25 kilos lighter, and the channel is closing in on 60,000 subscribers and 4.5 million views. That was a life-changing moment, and I don't want to get stuck there again, so let's drain it properly. Back then, I dumped a lot of rocks into the hole to get the tractor out, and now I'm finding every single one of them. This is about as good as I can get it without the digger. The trench is done for now. Time to fill it back up and widen the road. Some of our sheep has been escaping, and I got a suspicion about the section of fence. It's too low. We also nearly out of rock again, so I've ordered another load. The grass is finally picking up after our treatment, so that's something. And as expected, the new parts of the road has been settling a bit, so we need to top them up when the delivery arrives. In the meantime, next task, widening the road so that the builder can get his tractor up here. First step is to clear away the brush. It's morning now, and it's going to be a hot summer day, which means we can't put off shearing the sheep any longer. And since both me and Marianne are having a day off and the kids are at school, it's now or never. We had to sacrifice our usual holding pen while we built the road, so we have found another spot to gather the sheep. While we got them, we are also going to give them their usual treatments. One medication for worms and another to prevent ticks and fly strike. Every time that we post a shearing video, we get the same comments. Why don't you just flip them on the rumps and shear them like a pro? Why don't you send the wool off to be spun into yarn? Here's the thing, I have never sheared a traditional wool sheep, but I can show you what it looks like when we shear one of ours. The fleece is like a thick rug. All the fibers are matted together into one solid chunk. I don't think even the best spinner could turn this into yarn. That's why we use it as mulch in the kitchen garden. Another job, taking down the biggest bumps in the valley so the builder doesn't flip his tractor while reversing. That should do it. Next up, widening the road leading up to the barn plateau. He said it needs at least 3 meters to make it up the slope, so let's check. Yep, over 3 meters. That's one more off the list. I've noticed some oil driplets, so I've checked the level. It was a bit low, so I topped it up, just to be safe. In about a week, our ram is leaving the farm. Since we're keeping the lambs, we can't keep him. I'm sure most of you understand, so I'm not going to explain that in details. And let's just say, after smashing fences, destroying water buckets, attacking the lambs and even denting our cars, our motivation to keep him isn't exactly high either. Since our driveway can't handle livestock trucks, I have arranged with our neighbor to borrow a spot on his field by the main road. We're going to build a temporary pen there for the pickup day. Now let's get back to the list. It's getting way too wet to work with soil now, so I'm taking a break. Our air tags has finally arrived. Some may think that this is cruel, but we are obligated by law to tag them. The most important is the ram, as we will need our tag on him before he can be collected. We should have done this when we got him about a year ago, but you know us, we only managed to tag about half the lambs, but at least we know who they are, so we can take care of that later. Back to the road. Some may wonder why we didn't lay rocks all the way up. The answer is simple, to save money and because it's not needed. The plateau is built up by rocks, and there is no chance of making a muddy mess up there, so we don't need a road layer. My plan was to show off the finished list at the end of this video, but then this happened. Again. But at least we are nearly finished. If you want to see more of our videos, remember to hit the subscribe button, so you can find us, and if you want real-time updates, visit our Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and we will be seeing you on our next video. Bye for now.